There is just nothing easy about being a Minnesota Vikings fan. Every single time they go up against the team that they should beat, or at least because of injuries or whatever, it's just never easy. I mean, you for instance, you take the game against the New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston, Alvin Kamara were both out. Mike Thomas, I believe, was also out. Like, just top to bottom, Marcus May, another guy that was out. Like, it was just... holy cow. And finally, they win off of a double doink miss by the Saints at the end there, but it's frustrating. It's absolutely frustrating, but overall, they were able to come out with a win. And like I said, it's never easy. But, win is a win these days, and you really can't complain about it, but you can be a little bit, you can be a little bit annoyed at the very least. So anyway, we're talking about today the matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and New Orleans Saints in Week 4 in London. This one started at 8:30 or something like that. It was crazy. I was not up at the time. Let's put it that way, because church don't start till 10. So anywho, So standouts and fizzouts. Welcome back to it, where we talk about standouts from the game, also fizzouts because pop. We think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, we think that you also. By the way, let us know what you guys drink in the comment section down below. Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, don't matter. Let us know what you guys drink, because it's absolutely the best thing. So talking about the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints here, I gotta be real with you. This was too close of a game that should not have been this close. It was frustrating, but the Vikings overall did take down the Saints 28-25, and it was very interesting, and we've got our own standouts and fizzouts, if you will. So for me, there is so many standouts that I want to go through for both teams here, but we will go ahead and we will start with Justin Jefferson for the Vikings. Just, a couple of back-to-back rough games, able to kind of, be able to come back and play the way that he did against good competition. Marshawn Lattimore is one of the best corners in the league, and Justin Jefferson went for 10 catches, $147. Also had that 3-yard rushing touchdown there. That was kind of a nail in the cover. That really got the Vikings back into it. You absolutely love to see it. Also another winner for me, Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison. Those two, we'll get to Kirk Cousins. Trust me, we will definitely get to Kirk Cousins. But, Alexander Mattison, I forgot to get that down there for you guys. Cook, Madison, both combined for a total of 79 yards. But, you might just ask me, why do I put Alexander Mattison in this list, who had 3 carries for only 3 yards? But he had that huge 15-yard touchdown reception. A great job by Adam Thielen and company getting out in front of that one, but you're very excited and you're very happy with how the Vikings were able to run the football. It wasn't great at times, but they got the job done. Also another standout for me, Adam Thielen, 8 catches, 72 yards, really was a huge reason as to why the Vikings were able to sustain drives and do a lot of different things there. You love to see it. Standout, another one, Zadaria Smith, just continues to be the Vikings pass rush at this point. It's a little frustrating, but it is what it is at this point. At the same time, you realize that, Dalvin Tomlinson also got there, but overall, Zadaria Smith, he's just been consistent. He's been getting pressure on the quarterback. I need me some Danielle Hunter. We'll talk about him in just a second as well. But, like I said, there's a lot of other standouts for me. Also, Cameron Dantzler had a strong game, couple of nice pass breakups there, including that long ball that looked like it almost was going to be pass interference, but it wasn't. Kudos to Dantzler for cleaning it up there. Special teams. You want to talk about such a pleasant surprise here. I mean, special teams was such great things for the Vikings. Like Ryan Wright, Jalen Naylor, was it Mike Daniels, the coach for the Vikings special teams. Just fantastic all the way around. Able to just, from a play calling perspective, from a execution perspective, it was fantastic, just top to bottom. I love the fact that they faked the punt. Jalen Naylor also got his very first catch in the NFL. It was just a very well executed and planned out day for special teams from top to bottom for the Vikings. Fizzouts, I want to start with the refs because, and I'm not even just talking about the refs that were calling those calls for the Vikings. It really came in down to the fact that there was, whether it was the hands to face, calls, or whether it was any of those other calls in terms of, there was another call that I couldn't quite remember that got called on both teams. But anyway, the hands to face calls were just, they did not get any of those right. Not a single one. Kirk Cousins had it happen at least 3 or 4 times. Also, on the other side of that, Tyrone Matthew, he had one call that was, I believe, towards the end of the fourth quarter there. It was not great. It was not a great call, and that should not have been called. involved, but it is what it is at this point, and the Vikings definitely got away with one there, as well as did the Saints, for that matter, for a couple of different times there. But it is what it is. The refs just it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Fizzouts for the Vikings. Brian O'Neill, you had multiple false start penalties. Okay, you know what? It's tough to hear in those stadiums. You're on the road, blah, 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 blah. False start penalties. You also allowed a sack. Cam Jordan completely just demolished Brian O'Neill. It is what it is at this point. Wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty. And it was tough watching against what was supposed to be one of the best right tackles in the game, but he did not have a very good game. We will call a spade there. Johnny Munt dropped that pass on 4th and 1. Not great. Would have liked to have that one. I also would have liked to have the coaching decision to go forward on 4th and 1, run the football, do whatever you got to do. Multiple times, by the way. Defense. It really got down to the point where Ed Donatel just did not get it done. I don't understand what the philosophy is here. Having some of those corners sit back, try to get pressure with 3, it doesn't work for me. The defense has to step up in a lot of different ways there, whether it's the run game or from a pass, a rush, and a pass defense game. It's been bad. It's been very, very bad for the defense. You allow 25 points to the Saints, who are without their starting quarterback, receiver, and running back. Just wow. Coaching decisions like we talked about, going forward on 4th and 1. Field goals. You cannot win a game on field goals. It's the most oversaid thing in the entire NFL these days, and it wasn't great. Danielle Hunter, I'm putting out an SOS or MIA calling for Danielle Hunter right now, because you have not seen much of him through the first 4 games of the NFL season. Yes, could it be that he's kind of getting acclimated to a new role with the team? Could it be that Zadaria Smith, has really hit the ground running? Yes. But we need more Danielle Hunter if we're going to be able to keep our sanity so far. Pass rush for the Vikings. Yes, I know Delvin Tomlinson got there, but Harrison Phillips, to me, has still not gotten it done. Like, we've seen some good things from Phillips, but overall, I need more. I need this Vikings pass rush to just blow past these offensive lines. They really need to start getting after it. And I really feel like this is just, I know that, again, it's only, the 4th game of the NFL season, but it left a lot to be desired for me. But, Greg Joseph, definitely another standout. Jalen Reagor also had himself a very nice return there. Prayers up for Lewis Seen on that nice punt return there. I really hope he gets back quickly. Kenny Nwangu also had a very nice kickoff return. I think it was like a 33-yarder, if I'm not mistaken. Ryan Wright, he's just a stud. I love Ryan Wright. I really do. Then the Saints, standout to me was Andy Dalton, because he's not the reason you lost. He's also not the reason you won. 20 of 28 for 236, a touchdown, no interceptions or anything like that. But he was a huge reason as to why the Saints were constantly in this one. I got nothing but respect for Andy Dalton. Latavius Murray, L-Train, 11 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Also Taysom Hill. Every time he comes into the game, just bad things seem to happen for the Vikings. It wasn't great. It absolutely wasn't great. Also, Marquez Callaway really found a way to there was a couple catches he made that were huge. Chris Olave also caught his first touchdown. What was it? His first touchdown, whatever it was. But, he's really established himself as being a number 1 wide receiving threat. You love to see it. Adam Trautman, 3 catches, 37 yards, and all that good jazz, as well as the rest. This offensive line, though, for the Saints was actually pretty good. Yes, there were a couple of those sacks that the Vikings got, but overall, it was actually very solid. Tyrone Matthew, that hands to face was not even close. I don't understand it. I believe also Adam Thielen might have gotten away with one there towards the end of the game. Tyrone Matthew had that big interception for the Saints as the Vikings were marching. That was kind of low-key a huge interception, because it really changed the tides and the momentum of that game. So that was absolutely a big play by Tyrone Matthew there. We talked about Taysom Hill. Fizzouts for the Saints, because pop. Marshawn Lattimore, absolutely, just got his lunch eaten. I think that was PFF that released it. I think that he allowed, I think it was something like, I think there was targeted 10 times, allowed 7 catches for 93 yards or something like that. It was a rough game for Marshawn Lattimore. It is what it is at the end of the day. Pete Warner was another guy that was constantly out of position when it came to guarding running backs coming out of the backfield. It was rough. The pass rush for the Saints, most of the time, was kind of suspect. It did get home a couple times, but overall, I did have my questions just in terms of their ability to really ramp it up without the blitz. But overall, the Vikings escaped with one here. A little bit shocking. I couldn't believe it happened, but overall the Saints escape with one and find a way to get it done. So, but that's it. That's our latest edition of Standouts and Fizzouts for the Minnesota Vikings versus New Orleans Saints matchup. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. So give us a like and a follow there. Also remember to give us a listen and sub on iTunes. And finally, if you have anything else you'd like us to cover, send us an email at thesportsbp@yahoo.com or put it in the comment section down below and we would love to cover it. But also, let us know what you guys drink in terms of pop, Coke, Mountain Dew, Pepsi, whatever it is. Diet Dr. Fizz, you know the off-brand. What's the brand that's at Walmart? I can't even remember it off the top of my head. Great Value, there it is. But let us know what you guys drink and let us know what you guys think about our latest edition of Standouts and Fizzouts for the Minnesota Vikings versus New Orleans Saints matchup.